it's Lindsay from the vlog Books for Christian Girls, and today I'm going to be doing another suggested video because y'all keep coming up with amazing suggestions. And this one was actually suggested a while back, and I'm finally doing it, and that is A to Z author names. Quite a while back I did an A to Z book title challenge, and that was very tricky. I'll link it up there. It's an older video. So today I'm going to do A to Z author names. And because Brandy and Amanda, you both suggested this, so much fun. Thank you both so much. But I wasn't sure if I was supposed to do first names or last names. So I'm doing both to make it easier on myself. So let's go! But see, the thing is, like, I have quite a few authors that I don't know which one to do. So A, Amy Clipston. I'm going to go with Roadside Assistance for this one. Could pick a lot of her books, but you know, Roadside Assistance I just have the most memories with, so I'm going with that one. B, Judy Bare, Million Dollar Dilemma is one of my favorites. There's also though Nora's Ark, and I love that one too. C, Melody Carlson, I just picked a random one, and that's the Carter House Girls, Book 6, New York debut. I do enjoy this series if you want some teen drama and angst. But my personal favorite is The Secret Life of Samantha McGregor, which I've talked about many times before. But this author has many, many books, and I have a whole bookshelf of ones I need to read or reread. D, C.J. Darlington, Jupiter Wins. I love this book. I talk about this book not often enough. I love this book. It's a dystopian. One of my all-time favorite, honestly, it's right. It's number one. It's my favorite dystopian series. It's only book 1 and 2 thus far, but they're both so good. And I love Jupiter Wins. I love it. It's so good. So E, Elizabeth Camden. I'm going to go with Against the Tide for this one. This is probably the one I talk about most by this author. She's kind of a guilty pleasure author for me. And this one I recently reread. Earlier this year or late last year at some point, I reread it, and there is some content that maybe isn't suitable for younger readers, of course, but it is a very much, you see a bad guy being changed, and I like seeing that character development. F, Rachel Fordham, The Hope of Azure Springs. This is the title I always messed up. I apologize. This was so sweet. It was so sweet. I've talked about this book in so many other videos. I'm going to link one of them up there so y'all can go check that out. It's a historical. One of the best historicals I've read in a long time. It literally, the best definition to describe it is sweet. It was so precious. It was sweet. Oh, so cute. Okay, for G, obviously I have to do Robin Jones Gunn. But I really don't want to climb all the way up to go grab the Christy Miller series. So, Christy Miller Volume 1. Still haven't finished the series yet, still need to. But G, Robin Jones Gunn. So for H, Janice Hannah, and then Thompson is another name she writes under, so Janice Thompson or Janice Hannah Thompson. And one of my all-time favorite books by her is Love Finds You in Poetry, Texas. And it's a matchmaking, and it's got the humor of every Janice Thompson book, and it was just so much fun. I haven't talked about this one in a while. We're changing that. It's a really good book. So for I actually couldn't come up with any that I own. I know there's a couple authors that have I's with their first name, but I don't own their books, so no I's. J, I'm going to go with Jen Toronto, which this book is Flights of Fancy, which is her newest one, which so reminded me of her debut book that I just adored. It's historical, there's a lot of antics, the cover is beautiful. So for K, I picked 2 because I need to mention both of these authors. And the first one is Heather Kaufman and The Story People. Oh, I love this book. One of the best books I read in 2018. I've talked about it in multiple videos. A lot of y'all have read it and loved it, and that just makes me so incredibly giddy. I'm so happy about that. And then the other author I want to mention is Kristen Mcgee. She is an absolute classic in the Christian YA market. You have her Anomaly trilogy, which is a dystopian trilogy, and then you have her contemporary trilogy that starts with First Date. And this book, this series, the other series, this book, I love all these books. L, Lisa Harris. I'm going to go with Vendetta for this because I just mentioned her newest book, A Secret to Die For, a few videos ago, so I won't repeat myself. But Vendetta is the start to a trilogy that also has a complimentary book with it, and it's definitely a suspenseful, heart-pounding book that deals with some harder topics. So only maybe if you're interested in the criminal justice law enforcement side would you be interested in this book. But if you are, maybe check it out. This cover just gives the best vibes for this book. Like, this is a perfect cover for it. I'd love to know how many of y'all saw this coming. We have Erin Mangum. I love her books. I talk about her books very often. And this one I grabbed, We Are Gathered Here, which is a novella collection of preciousness. I already want to reread this. This is the thing I have with Erin Mangum books. As soon as I read the back cover, I'm like, I need to reread that right now because they all make me so happy. I love Erin Mangum books. So I just grabbed We Are Gathered Here because it's a good one. They're all good. You can't go wrong. I'm going to go with Natalie Grant, who wrote London Art Chase, and this is a Faith Girls series, the Glimmer Girls series. It's based on her two twin daughters and her other daughter, Sadie, and it was just such a cute series. There's 4 books in it. It was such a fun time. There's illustrations, there's mysteries, a really great preteen read. For O, I'm going to do Sandra Orchard, Deadly Devotion. This is a very talented author. I look forward to seeing what she writes next. This is a mystery/suspense. This series I actually really want to reread just for my own sake because I remember it was connected so well within the trilogy. But it's definitely a trilogy you don't want to space out reading in between the books because they're really heavily connected to each other. She also has another series I talk about often, so I'm going to talk about this one today. For P, we're going to go with Faith Potts with Dandelion Dust. One of my favorite books of, was it 2017 or 18? I'm not sure. This has a copyright 2017, so I think it's 2017. I'll link the video I talk about this more in. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I cried. I never cry at books ever, and I cried in this one. It was a strange experience for me because I don't cry in books. But y'all, it was so good. Definitely check it out. It's a small, thin read that you can read for a summer reading challenge. Just, y'all need to read it. It is such a sweet, sweet YA book. Okay, and then for Q, couldn't find a Q. Couldn't find a Q. So if you know an author with a Q last name, please let me know. Or first name. First name even. Especially in the Christian market, because I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and I couldn't come up with anybody. R, I'm going to go with Robin Carroll, which wrote Samantha Sanderson at the Movies. This is a Faith Girls mystery, and probably one of my favorites in the Faith Girls line. This entire series was just so much fun, and it's a really good for like an older preteen, especially. But I mean, I enjoyed it too, and I'm above the targeted age, so. S, I'm going to go with Surrey Mitchell with Like a Flower in Bloom. This book I've talked about, I haven't talked about it actually in a while. I haven't talked about this book in a while. We need to change that. Surrey Mitchell, Like a Flower in Bloom. So good. So good, y'all. And I'm a little biased on this book, but I honestly thought it was great. It had the humor. It's in the time period I love. And it was just really good. So I hope you enjoy it too. For T, I'm going to go with Carrie Taransky, and I just picked The Daughter of Highland Hall. This is book 3 and book 2, book 2, and the Edwardian Bride series. This entire trilogy was just, that emoji with that's what it was. It was just amazing. The faith content, the character development, the characters in themselves, just so good. I love Miss Carrie Taransky's writing. Her next book is coming out. Actually, no, it's out. Her recent book just came out. So she's such a good writer, and I'm always so happy to promote her books because she's such a sweet lady, and her books are just testimony to that. They are lovely. And U, couldn't come up with an author with a U first name or last name, so if you know that one, feel free to leave that down below for me too. B, I picked an author whose name I still have difficulty pronouncing, and that's The Summer of Cotton Candy by Debbie Viguier. I stink at names, I'm so sorry. But this is a YA series set over the seasons with 4 books. It's super fun. It was hilarious. It's probably more for those who like Melody Carlson books. And I still haven't gotten the newer edition of the first book. I own the rest of the series in the new editions, but not this one. But it's very fun. Her name is Candy. She works in an amusement park, and it's very entertaining. For W, I'm going to go with Where You Lead by Leslie Wall. Oh my goodness, I love this book. I've raved about this book. It was one of my favorite books of 2018, I believe. So good. I cannot, like, this is one of the top YAs I've read. Like, it was so good, y'all. If you love contemporary YA, try it. If you like YA, try it, because it has so many different aspects. It has history, it has mystery, it had a little touch of romance, but the humor was what completely sold me, and it was a very well-rounded book, and it was just, I love this book. It's easily one of my favorite books. Okay, so obviously X, I couldn't find an author with an X first name or last name, so I had to skip that one. For Y, I'm going to go with Kathleen Yarbarbo with My Heart Belongs in Galveston, Texas, Madeline's Search. I talked about this one in my last video, and I explained a little bit more about it, but it's basically a historical mystery set in Galveston, Texas, and it had Pinkerton agents and humor, and a girl who's got a lot of gumption, and you gotta love that. And then the last letter of our alphabet, Z, I could not come up with one. That's always the hardest letter, maybe. I mean, so out of the ones I did, I missed I, Q, U, X, and Z. Which, I mean, those aren't the most common names to find. But maybe I'll redo this someday and I won't mention any of these authors, and that will be so hard for me to do. But maybe I'll have ones for those other 5 I'm missing. So thank you so much to Amanda and Brandy for suggesting this video. This was so much fun. I'm sorry it took me so long to do it, but I finally did it and it was so much fun. We got to explore my bookshelf again. I got to talk about books I haven't talked about in a while. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you know authors to any of those 5, definitely let me know. I'm most curious maybe about X, because it's got the author's first name has to start with it or their last name has to start with it. So go forth and search and let me know what you find. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Lindsey from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where in 2019 there's a new review every Friday. I try to post a new video on this channel every other Thursday, and I'm on Instagram somewhat randomly, but I definitely try. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye!